Good morning, everyone. It is me, Jeremy Lastman. It is I, with the Conscious Leadership Network, with another live with me on Wednesdays here at noon Pacific. Today's topic is, what is it? Stand invincibly in the pain of difficulty to realize the impossible. Amazing topic. So let's jam about that for a little bit, shall we? This is an area of personal development. So I have here below, like, when other people, and especially your mind, tell you to stop, to quit, to change course, to veer away from your passion, to, hold back on what you really want to do, and you can feel like there's nothing working, feel like a failure, feel like you're not good enough. And how do you know what's true? And I had another comment from someone that says, like, when it feels like pursuing your dream isn't working and others are telling you that you should quit. So standing invincibly in the pain of difficulty to realize the impossible. How do we do that? How do we do that? How do we face difficulty? How do we transform difficulty? How do we get out of the mindset that looks at difficulty as a concrete problem that can seem impossible to even fathom that we can solve? And I used to work at SpaceX with Elon Musk, and when I was there, they had just done three rocket failures, and there was the threat to the whole company because it seemed like nothing was working. Nothing would have worked, and it was an incredible difficulty what they were trying to do, and when Elon discussed and, like, brought the company together about facing the difficulty and the pains of all the failed launches, what was it that helped unify the mission and the company and the energy, the passion towards the first successful launch? And it really is vision. It's the vision that allows you to really face anything that that comes up in your way about what it is that is telling you otherwise, is telling you that you can't, is telling you that you should quit, is like, whether it's external or internal, all of those voices, all of that noise really um, starts to become bigger than the vision. And what do I mean by vision? How can I really express what vision means in terms of relativity, in terms of the relative size compared to the voices of difficulty, the conditions of difficulty, and like all of the stumbling blocks, the roadblocks, the failures that get in the way of realizing the impossible. And for me, when I feel into vision, when I feel into vision and the visionary space, this is the imagination, this is the field, the environment where everything is possible. And so when you are tapped into the vision, when you see the vision, when you express the vision, when you receive the vision, what you're doing is receiving the the completed, the successful, the larger than life download, if you want to put it like that. The painting, you see it in its full beauty. You see it in its full potency. You see it in its full power. It is right there in a vision, in what you are seeing and what you are feeling, experiencing. And that vision is grander than any voice. And so I would invite the uh, inquiry of how big or small you are making these voices of difficulty in relationship to the vision, in terms of the dream that you have, in terms of the um, what you are building, what you are creating, and find out what the vision of it is. Because when you are not clear on the vision, then that becomes so small compared to what pops up in reality, starts to become a lot bigger than they actually are. And in the work, in myself and in the work that I do with other people, once you get that sense of the invincibility of your vision, then nothing can really get in your way. And that is when you are in the frequency of a solution, of just the timeless presence of the dream realized right now, regardless of what it is that you see or are receiving in terms of the negativity that you make bigger than it actually is, because the fear, the doubt, the skepticism is more of a default mode of the human programming, um, because in the going like in the child's mind, everything is possible from that imagination perspective. But when we try to fit things into a box, and when we try to create these labels that make the the skew of the relationship, the relativity of these things, then that's when uh, you get lost in the difficulties, in the failures, and in all of that. And that's because it's default. That's because uh, um, That's because negativity, negativity negativity is the normal operating uh, paradigm programming of a unfree species. It is the conditioned, time-based understanding about how to look at reality, how to look at a duality, how to rate pain versus pleasure in in the in the survival of um, in the survival of a mind that's trying to survive. And what I mean by that is, if in the survival filters, if I'm not looking constantly at what is imperfect, that is what is negative, then um, then it's literally something might kill me, because I'm not vigilant. I'm not constantly on the lookout for the bad, because I'm defending myself constantly. I'm under stress constantly. That's why uh, when that's why a lot of humans aren't willing to step into their power, because the negative worldview has been so ingrained in the operating system, based in the survival dynamics, based in the fear fuel. But once you shift to passion, um, it literally, like conglomerates pain and pleasure, in a sense, because you are realizing that you no longer have to choose negativity anymore, and you're then choosing higher uh, possibilities, higher frequencies, to really dismantle the default that keeps the species kind of suppressed in the fear, in the negativity. Because to pursue your dream is one thing that, even, that not everyone does either. Um, and I see a question here. I'll answer that, Tyson, in 1 second. So you have to realize that even pursuing your dream is to step out of the box of, like, uh, the conditioned, follow the rules, XYZ, live a safe life, live a secure life. Like, even live it, like, pursuing your dream is something that's a little bit at the edge of like what it means to just be a normal person. But then having the persistence uh, to face the difficulties, to stand invincibly in all the pain that wants to come, and to stay in the passion, stay in the vision. Uh, that's to bring up Tyson Q's question here from YouTube. How do you balance vision with being quote unquote realistic? And that's really a great question, because uh, would you consider Elon Musk's vision with SpaceX and Tesla years ago didn't seem quote unquote realistic, but through facing the difficulties and the failures, it's being realized, and it's starting to become real and normal, that we're launching rockets once a day, twice a day, and it's moving towards exactly the crazy, unrealistic vision that he had, 10 years ago. And so uh, the the balance there in the visionary space, like I was talking about, the visionary space, everything is possible. So there really is no need to balance anything in the visionary space. So there you can be totally unrealistic, totally outside the bounds there in the visionary space, because that's the vision. And so what you're asking then is the communication of it, the manifestation of it, the bringing it down into form. I would say, hmm, there. I mean, what did Steve Jobs have the quote? The here's to the crazy ones, right? It's what can I say to that? Because I would ask you, balancing, why do you feel the need to balance? What is the inspiration of how do you balance? Because is it so that you don't appear crazy, so that you don't fail, so you don't so are you avoiding something by needing to control a balance between like the vision, the amazingness, the just maybe science fiction, the uh, uh, larger than life kind of vision, and then you don't want to share it because it's unrealistic, people will laugh at you? Like, is it that want to avoid judgment side of balance, not to be safe and not appear like a crazy person, um or is it like oh, okay, all right. So he says, so I don't waste energy time chasing an unrealistic vision. um mm, mm. Well, now I'm curious what it is. Now I want to hear what it is, Tyson. If you're willing to share a tease, because now you've sparked my interest. Because um, what field, what sector, uh, the things that come up in terms of like real life tangible actions would be to go, uh, as long, I mean, maybe an NDA or whatever, but to go talk with the experts in the fields that you want to play in and get the sense of like, is it unrealistic? I mean, could it be possible? Could there be advancements? Could there be technology that allows us to, whatever, like, the sharing of it is going to kind of filter the uh, the fear out of it, because um, I get that you don't want to waste the time and the energy, but if it's lighting you up, if there is like a calling, if there's a um, passion, uh, then I would say do what you feel you need to vet it, like any other idea, um, where uh, that's kind of the logical side to my brain wants to respond to that. Um, but also the artist in me wants to say, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. If it lights you up, if it is turning you on, if it really feels, uh, if you see it in your mind's eye, if you see it, uh, then there is a purpose. There is a reason why it's coming to you. There is a uh, it's there for a reason. Um, so you don't need to look at it as chasing, but more listening. Maybe do that for kind of the the dance that you have with it, because it's not necessarily chasing, but more listening to it and uh, letting it come to you. And I hope that helps. Cool, cool. You get two sides to my brain on that one. Listen to it and nurture the baby steps. And you sparked my interest. You sparked my interest. All right, thank you very much for the question, Tyson. I hope you go realize it. And so yes, pursue those dreams. Even keep them to yourself if you're really not ready to get feedback or criticisms or things like that. If an idea is not yet ready, if it's not yet, incubated enough, it won't survive the criticism. So allow it to grow and foster and incubate. Only tell people that are supportive and come from love instead of fear or any of those other kind of negative things, skepticisms and all of that. And continue that, because that is so important to those like new ideas and those like hatchlings of inspirations that they can get very much squashed by negative people. I've had much experience with that. So yes, let me know if you have any questions on that, and make sure you go check out the Conscious Leadership Network, and I will see you next Wednesday. I hope you guys have a beautiful, 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 and fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you later.